Accessing higher consciousness with specific sound healing practices that heighten and expand our relationship with our inner wisdom and inner knowing and expansive understanding. I've been using curated sounds, rhythms, patterns, and tones for sound healing transformation with cancer and immune compromised illness, people with trauma, mental health diagnosis, addiction, and recovery, in internal medicine with people with pain, where I did research, and with people with different spiritual experiences for over 25 years. The transformative effects of curated sound healing are now proven by science, but these protocols give access to higher states that once were thought impossible and not within the reach of human potential. However, now we know there are practices that develop and expand and heighten consciousness and give us access to profound states, moving beyond mindfulness meditation to transformative practices. Methods beyond mindfulness meditation and concentration practices. In transformative practices, there are deeper levels of mental focus, awareness, and introspection that are expansive. And transformative practices are not mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation is a more generalized meditation, while advanced meditation, also using curated sound healing, accesses profound well-being, deep interconnection with deepening states that unfold with time and practice. And these states include deep insights, heightened awareness, peacefulness, deep knowing, states of love, expansive clarity, and the ability for exploration, knowledge, and wisdom of flowing, learning, and understanding subtle aspects of consciousness, or exploring those subtle aspects. But how do we get there? Reaching higher consciousness through curated sound music, a term used in research settings using music, and the profound experiences people have with music, is identified as an intense musical experience, also called an IME. The research reveals people who experience an IME, which may be a one-time experience or multiple times, consider it to be life-changing and of extreme significance with long-term effects. Here are the 4 characteristics of an intense musical experience. One is an IME occurs as an altered state of consciousness, of harmony and self-realization. 2, once a person has an experience of an IME, they are significantly motivated to create the same harmony in their daily lives. 3, during an IME, the person develops various interpersonal resources they continue to use, which is expansion of consciousness. And number 4, experiencing an IME results in long-term changes in personal values, including social relationships, how the person engages in life, activities they pursue, personal development, and perception of the meaning of life. There's a profound shift in awareness that is fulfilling, harmonious, and connects the person in a deep way to their spirituality and values, and changes the way they live their life. Another component of consistent use of curated sound healing practices is neuroplasticity. An IME as an advanced transformational method that changes consciousness and develops neuroplasticity, which is the neurological system forming new connections as neurogenesis that are part of learning and adaptation. This is also rewiring the brain, where it is reorganizing the connections. In the rewiring process, there are profound changes. While neuroplasticity is occurring, there is also a release of stress and trauma, and there is even more going on. Epigenetics and sound healing. Epigenetic changes occur when there is neuroplasticity. This means the growth of new neurons and synapses changes how we respond to stressors without changing our DNA. These epigenetic responses are so significant, they change our predilection for illness and promote positive changes in our gene expression that are related to reducing stress, emotional regulation, and improving cognitive function. And there are many more positive outcomes. But these are only part of the amazing and profound changes that are occurring when we are engaging in epigenetic rewiring of our neurological system. So there are evolutionary implications. The ability to engage in transformative methods that change our consciousness and response to trauma and stress is not only personal empowerment and evolutionary improvement, and because our entire physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual being is dynamically changed by these epigenetic responses, we are on the threshold of profound changes. These include diminishing of stress, cortisol, the stress hormone, and inflammation that are underlying causes of mental and physical illness. The following is a detailed list of the different areas that are significantly positively changed when we engage in regular practices like curated sound healing that rewires our neurological system. One of them is stress reduction and functioning in the immune system that changes. Regular methods that access transformative states increase our immune system function. This is a large contribution to staying in a healthy state and being resistant to illness. There's a decrease in stress and inflammation, building our health and longevity, resilience, ability to adapt and innovate to evolving circumstances and situations. And knowing that even diminishes stress. Number two is there's a diminishing of external influences that distort our decisions. Engaging in methods that shift our perspective and brainwaves, heart rate, and respiration, which occur all simultaneously when we listen to curated sound healing, reduces our biases that are unconscious influences from our emotions, our expectations, and the social norms. And social norms are how we're influenced by often unspoken but implied informal rules that govern our behavior in groups and society. So they're cultural expectations. People are able to approach problems without the influence of the social norms, being more objective and arriving at a wider range of solutions, which is an exponential shift in consciousness. Number three, there's a deactivation of the ego. There's a release of negative thoughts, pervasive, intrusive thoughts, and the ability to step outside of usual thought patterns. When we relax into the restorative states that are accessed through listening to curated sound healing that produce the IMEs, there's a lessening of the controlling elements of the ego that get in the way of new perspective, insights, and creative solutions, and our creativity. Number four, compassion and empathy. Compassion and empathy are caring, compassion and concern for others as emotional empathy, and cognitive empathy is imagining other people's perspectives. The ability to have and connect to others with compassion and empathy are enhanced through brainwave regulation and methods that connect us to the emotional centers in the brain and heart and our body. This is especially important since there's been a decline in compassion and empathy over the last 30 years, according to research. And number five, insight and intuition. Insight and intuition are experienced cognitively and within the body as feeling awareness and even beyond the body with knowing. Sound healing practices enhance brainwave states that promote deeper cognitive processing and the emergence of intuitive insights, and to see patterns and notice relationships and patterns with what might previously seem to be disparate events or circumstances or experiences. And this is an enhanced ability. Number 6 is cognitive flexibility and creativity. Curated sound patterns as a transformative practice stimulates and enhances our ability to have flexibility in discovering new solutions. There's a fostering of open-mindedness, the ability to adapt to different situations, develop strategies, and to view problems from multiple perspectives with creative problem-solving skills. And number 7, focus and concentration. When we access alpha and theta's deeper states of consciousness, there is entrainment of our brain and body to these frequencies. This entrainment or resonance becomes familiarized, and we develop an increased attention and lessening of distraction. And there's a sustained alertness, which improves concentration and focus, which is staying on track. And number 8 is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from challenges and difficult situations. When we engage in transformative practices that develop our resilience, this develops the ability to navigate through difficulties more easily, resolve conflict, and solve problems. And number 9, improved working memory. Decision-making, behaviors, and holding content is a vital function of our memory. Reducing stress and inflammation improves our recall and benefits all of our neurological functionings. New neurons are created, and the ability to adapt new information, learn, and processing occurs. Number 10, social and cultural evolution. When people intentionally there's sound, healing, listening together, and have an experience with others, there's a level of connectivity that enhances their experience as a social connection, but there's more to it than that. When people share curated sound healing methods in person, there's an enhancement experience that's exponential, that heightens each person's experience and develops it further. And so the group benefits as well. That's why I recommend always sharing, if there is a person to share, using the same sound healing methods. And number 11 is mental health. Research already shows there's a relationship with shifting out of ordinary consciousness, which is beta, into alpha brainwaves, that lessens depression, anxiety, trauma, PTSD, schizophrenia, and bipolar. And when we draw upon transformative practices, we are rewiring our brain from holding stress and trauma, and shifting into restorative states is healing to our nervous system and body, enhancing restoration, healing, and recovery. Ancient roots of higher consciousness. In many ancient cultures, people have used sound and musical methods, specific curated sound patterns and musical methods of entrainment, which means resonating with the sound patterns for accessing entrancing states using particular patterns, rhythms, and tones that transform consciousness. These methods were and are used in gatherings for social connection and harmonization through the group, interconnection and wisdom, for healing, restoration, and for accessing expansive states of awareness. Often wisdom was sought through particular sound patterns that carried the listener into advanced states, an IME, an intense musical experience, for discovering insight, for solutions, guidance, and understanding. So just as meditation and transformative practices are not new, neither are curated sound healing methods. It is now we have the scientific research that vastly supports in many different areas of our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being, empowerment, epigenetics, and evolution. Curated sound healing as an intense musical experience or gathering and focusing to have that experience is a profound practice that extends beyond basic mindfulness and relaxation techniques. Evolutionary influences of transformational practice that include IMEs enhance and develop compassion and empathy as components of a healthier society and culture, rewiring our neurological structure from stress, trauma, and inflammation, enhancing cognitive focus and memory, releasing social norm biases, as well as improving the immune system are all very profound strides in our development that furthers our ability to connect to higher levels of consciousness, developing neuroplasticity that increases our resilience, intuition, insight, and creativity, enhance innovative responses, empowers heightened consciousness and transformation. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe and check out the 3 Malete programs.